What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. I got a quick video for you guys tonight. This one shouldn't take that long. Tomorrow, my Game Pass subscription for Game Pass Ultimate was supposed to end. Yes, I said supposed to end. Okay. I was supposed to switch over to Game Pass PC. Okay. I've actually been contemplating till this day canceling Game Pass completely because I play mostly on Steam and I got my backlog on Steam is pretty nice right now. There's a lot of games on Steam on my backlog that I still want to play. However, just having a normal conversation with my 16-year-old son, and I try to teach my kids to think critically, to be smart, be financially smart as well, right? Don't spend money just to spend money, right? Listen, God has given us a lot of blessings. We are responsible for how we use this stuff. We can't just be wasteful, right? So I try to teach my kids this as well, right? So I'm talking with him and I'm telling him that I'm playing South of Midnight right now. And I am playing it on Game Pass, but I'm playing that on my PC. So if my Game Pass switches over to Game Pass PC, it doesn't affect me at all. Okay. I tell him that, hey, you might want to try this game called Expedition 33. It's a really popular game. I haven't tried it yet, but you might want to go ahead and try it, right? He says to me, okay, what should I try it on? Should I try it on PC or should I try it on the console, right? Here's the issue. Game Pass Ultimate ends for us tomorrow, which means that that console becomes obsolete. Okay, so he won't have access to play Expedition 23 on the console when my Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Edition cancels out. All right. The only options then that he would have would be to buy the game full price on Steam, okay, or to go ahead and get his own Game Pass for his PC, which would then be $12 a month, which I would still be the one paying for it right now, right? So I could either get off of Game Pass Ultimate paying $20 a month and then go to Game Pass, two Game Pass PCs and end up paying $22 a month or no, $24 a month, right? Again, doesn't really make sense. Now, if we're gonna buy the game, me and him are already on the same page. If we're gonna buy a game, we're gonna buy the game on Steam. Why are you going to buy the game on Steam? Me and him share a library, and he has a Lenovo Legion Go, and I have an Asus ROG Ally. So automatically, you buy that game on Steam, he's going to have access to it on the go. I'm going to have access to it on the go. Like, it just makes sense, and we would split the cost, right? Or I'll buy a game. Sometimes he buys the games. It depends, like if he got Steam money, all that other stuff. Anyway, long story short, right? So we're not buying the games on the consoles, okay? So Expedition 33. He said, okay, well, how am I going to play it? I said, okay, you got a point. I was like, but that's just one game. We could go ahead and buy Expedition 33 on Steam and then play it that way. And he goes, wait. Doom is about to come out. I said, yeah, Doom Dark Ages is about to come out. He's like, I want to play that too. And I was like, okay, well, Doom the Dark Ages, that's like $60. We could, I guess, buy that as well on Steam. But now we're looking at Expedition 33 and then Doom the Dark Ages to buy on Steam. I think Expedition 33 is like $50. Doom the Dark Ages is going to be $60 to $70 probably, right? My son is looking at me do this math in front of him, and he's looking at me like, yeah, this don't look that good, right? And then he goes, but aren't you playing a game on Game Pass right now? And I was like, yeah, I'm playing freaking South of Midnight. And he goes, okay. He's like, Expedition 33 is on Game Pass. Yes. He goes, Doom the Dark Ages is coming to Game Pass. Yes. And then he goes, and I also heard that Oblivion game. And I was like, yeah, I've never played that either. That's also on Game Pass. And then I told him about Blue Paradise or whatever that game is that everybody's raving about. All on Game Pass. It makes no financial sense if I'm being a good steward of my money like I'm supposed to be, for me to go ahead just because you can't even say own the game because Steam has already came out and told you don't own the game. You own the license to access the game. We don't care about achievements like that. So it doesn't matter to me if some achievements are over here and some achievements are over there. Like that doesn't prove to me that you're a gamer because you have more achievements. Like so to me, that doesn't matter. So what would be the point of me doing that just because I want it to be more convenient for me. So I only got to use one launcher. That's it. All that money that I would have spent doesn't make sense. And then to put the cherry on top, Juju, my youngest one, says, I want to try that game, that Expedition 33 game. Well, guess what? In order for that to happen, he has to use the Xbox Series S or the Xbox Series X. And so he could play it on his account. But the only way that works is if I stay subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate. And with that, staying subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate, that's going to allow me to still get Game Pass PC. It's going to allow my son to play the games that he wants to play on the Xbox under his account. And then my other son is also going to be able to play the games that he wants to play on that same Xbox under his account. So essentially, we'll have 3 accounts on one Game Pass Ultimate subscription. It just makes too much sense. Worst comes to worst, my son decides to go ahead and get Game Pass on his PC for 1 month so he can play Doom the Dark Ages and then goes from there. But the ultimate subscription will still be in place. I wish I could tell you that it would make sense for me to unsubscribe from Game Pass completely and just buy everything on Steam. If I was by myself, sure. If it was just not even, because again, there's too many games. Xbox is doing the correct thing. They're putting games in Game Pass day one that people want to play. And maybe it's not this game that you want to play, but it's going to be the next one or the next one after that or the next one after that. If you're on PlayStation and you're buying all these games flat out and you have access to an Xbox, you're not being a good steward of your money. But that's not for me to judge. So I'm not here to judge you. You'll answer that to somebody else. Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this. We out. Peace.